Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for E3. It is here. I'm Stephen George. I'm going to be covering two of the conferences this year, Microsoft and Nintendo. Sony is absent this year. We're starting with Microsoft. Let's jump into it. Microsoft conference is starting off with that Obsidian game, because you've missed a good RPG experience, and Outer Worlds is trying to be it, and it looks good. For whatever reason, super colorful, oversaturated post-apocalyptic games seem to be in right now, because we had like Far Cry and Rage 2, and now Ninja Theory is giving us Bleeding Edge, and it feels familiar in some ways. Oh, I guess it's not post-apocalyptic because there was a train running. I mean, the art style still seems pretty similar. Reminds me a little bit of Sunset Overdrive? Something like that. There's a new Lilo and Stitch game. It's probably not actually Lilo and Stitch. I believe this is Ori. Ori and Will of the Wisps. And it looks pretty beautiful. It is. It is Ori. Yeah, that's a beautiful platformer. A brand new game from the creators of Minecraft. Is it Minecraft 2? Looks like Minecraft 2. Electric Boogaloo. It's a third-person dungeon crawler. Wild. That's interesting. I like Minecraft. Like, obviously, like the building aspect, but I also like it from, I don't know, a world perspective. So I actually think this would be pretty fun, especially multiplayer. I hope that you can have more than 4 players, though. Give me a server of 64 people. Minecraft Dungeons. It's me, Phil Spencer, and I'm dressed real casual. There's an astounding amount of people just screaming in the crowd. Like in the middle of Phil Spencer talking, like there'll be one voice that just says, and I'm kind of wondering how many people went into this conference intoxicated. Xbox throwing down the gauntlet by saying there will be more games shown at their conference than any other conference. Xbox wins E3 2019 due to sheer quantity. They're going to be showing off 60 games, 46 of which you can play elsewhere, but 14 of them right here in Xbox. They just said that they'd be talking about the next Xbox, which is kind of exciting, especially because Sony is not here, because Sony has nothing new to really announce about the PS5. They talked about it in an article a few months ago, but it'll be interesting to see what Microsoft says, because I can't imagine it's going to be much. As someone who now understands, at least in some basic capacity, the Star Wars universe, because I finally saw the original trilogy, this game looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Jedi Fallen Order, yay. Yeah, make sure we get our logo in there. Finally, Cabin in the Woods, the game. Honestly, I just like conceptually the idea of a horror game where you have a dog with you. That would make it, I think, infinitely less scary. Blair Witch! Like the movie? I assume like the movie. I didn't see the movie, but I guess. CD Projekt Red's new game looks exceptionally good, and I love the setting. God, the setting is cool. Keanu Reeves? Is that Keanu Reeves? I don't know. Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, wait, it actually was Keanu Reeves. I was like, yeah, that guy looks a lot like Keanu Reeves. They must have modeled him after Keanu Reeves. And then it's like, no, it is Keanu Reeves, and here's the real Keanu Reeves. That's a fun little thing when you see it in the game, and then it opens the door and they walk out. That's neat. I like it. You can tell Keanu is having a lot of fun doing this.
I gotta finish this, so tell me.
And he has not been able to get through what he has to say at all. Battletoads, Battletoads. I want to learn more about the Battletoads. They're back. I assumed. I think it was last E3 that we heard that. Rash, Pimple, and Zeds are back for their biggest battle yet. 3-player couch co-op, which I guess is fairly expected. I'm excited. It's been several hot minutes since we have had a Battletoads game. Oh my god. One of the hardest levels in gaming, reimagined. Battletoads. That's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. This Mr. Right game is pretty cool looking just from a art direction standpoint. because you've got multiple different elements going on here. So you've got like the cardboardy effect of like Yoshi's Crafted World, but then you also got like this hand-drawn style. It's really interesting looking. Reminds me a little bit of I'm not going to remember the name of the game now, but the company that did Little Big Planet, they did another game. That's as good as I can remember. Honestly, some of the most exciting games, in my opinion, are the indie games. No offense against AAA games, but often they end up feeling very similar, feeling very samey. And I feel like indie developers are the ones that are really thinking outside the box often. And this little showcase of indie games they got coming up looks pretty good. Now, as a reminder, most, maybe even all, of these indie games are going to be available on other platforms. So Xbox is showing them off, but you don't necessarily need an Xbox to play them. So if something looks interesting, you might be able to play it on Switch or PS4 or PC. Almost assuredly PC. Master Chief Collection is finally available for PC. You can get it with the Xbox Game Pass for PC. And it's available today. So for $15 a month, you get Xbox Game Pass for the Xbox, Xbox Live Gold, and the Game Pass for PC. I mean, if you play a lot of games and you do it primarily on PC and Xbox, it seems like a pretty good deal, especially since some of the titles they're good. You know, they might not be like the newest titles, but it seems like a pretty good deal. I don't know what this is, but it's beautiful. They've been showing some landscapes, some cityscapes, but I don't know what game it is. It could be like Airport Manager 2019. It might actually be Airport Manager 2019. I don't know. Oh, no, it's definitely a flight sim. Man. So, like, I'm not a flight sim guy, but the only experience I really had was my buddy Austin, who ultimately became a pilot, so I guess it was appropriate that he loved flight sims. I remember watching him play them on, like, a Windows 98 computer back in the day, and, man, they look good now. They look real good. Like, I almost want to play this just so I can see the landscapes. I have no interest in the plane. I want the plane on, like, full autopilot. I want to no-clip out of the plane and just look at the environments. Hey, it's another colorful, oversaturated, post-apocalyptic game. Seriously, why are there so many of these? Like, the game seems funny. It's just... Like, I can start making a list. There's so many. Wasteland 3. I think that, like, the industry as a whole went through a phase where they wanted to do post-apocalyptic, and it was, like, gritty, brown and gray. And we went through all of that, and now we've moved on collectively all at the same time to, like, the polar opposite, where people still want to cover post-apocalyptic material, but now it's, like, happy, sunshiny, bright, and it's odd because it's all happening at one time. Double Fine is joining Xbox. Bring him out. It's Tim Schafer. I know he's got a Psychonauts shirt on, but because of his overshirt, it just says H-O-N. Hun. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Halo! Oh, wait, no. All 9 films. 1 new game. So, it's Lego Star Wars. So, are they doing... It's like a completely new game, or are they just taking the games and making a compilation? I guess it's a new game. That's neat. I've only played very little of the Star Wars or the Lego games, but they've always been really fun. Man, Dragon Ball game. I'm pretty sure this is the Dragon Ball game that, like, Dragon Ball Sagas was supposed to be, but couldn't be because it wasn't very good. So that's exciting. Project Z Action RPG. Is there any new information about it? Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, early 2020. I mean, it looks cool. This 12 minutes trailer has been real good, and I highly recommend watching it. I really love this style of story.
You're home. What are you doing?
Where
okay?
where you have, like, extra information and you're trying to figure things out. I don't know what this is, but, like, conceptually, I like it. 12 minutes. Yeah, that looks wild. An interactive thriller about a man trapped in a time loop. Dang. Yeah, that's like that movie that I don't remember the name of, but it was fun and I liked it. Way to the Woods has an art style that is immediately appealing to me. I like it, and the art style, and actually vaguely the music, reminds me a little bit of like Katamari. And the gameplay reminds me a tad bit of Tokyo Jungle, of all things. Actually, the more of that trailer I saw, coming 2020 for real this time, the more I saw that trailer, it reminded me a little bit of Journey, which is always a good thing. Gears 5, Bound by Blood. I haven't followed the Gears series in so long, I have no idea what's happening. Man, there are literal flamethrowers on the stage. I would hate to be standing on one when they were like doing a test. I wonder if Rick is okay. Does that guy have handcuffs as a belt buckle?
You can build them too.
Is it kind of it's like a handcuffing his crotch?
And tonight,
that's unusual, but whatever. They are spending a lot of time on Gears 5 in their presentation. Also, is that the Terminator? That's the Terminator. Why is the Terminator in Gears 5? Anyway, they're spending a lot of time on Gears 5, and I get it because it's like one of their first-party games, but I often forget that the Gears series like exists, and maybe it's just because I'm not like deep within the Xbox ecosystem, but it's interesting to see them spend so much time because I'm like, oh yeah, that game. They're making a new Elite controller. Adjustable tension thumbsticks. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. I mean, like, for what it's worth, now I don't see mine. Oh, mine's over there. For what it's worth, the Elite is a great controller. Emil actually gave one to me, I think for Christmas one year, and it has probably been maybe my favorite controller ever. I use it obviously for the Xbox, but I also play basically any PC game with it, and it just feels good. It works good. It feels nice in my hands. So the fact that they're going even further with it is pretty cool. Dying Light. Hey, it's the free-running zombie game. There's another one. What the piss is happening? There are Lego cars in Forza. What? These are the weirdest crossovers. I can't believe that there is a car made of Lego. Japan's greatest online RPG? That can only mean one thing! Oh snap, it's Phantasy Star. A never-ending quest awaits you in space! Phantasy Star Online 2! Neat. Honestly, I put a great deal of time into some Phantasy Star games, particularly Blue Burst. It would be cool to jump back into one again. Oh goodness, you had a sword in your chest there. This is a Bandai Namco game. I'm not sure what it is, but you know, you probably shouldn't have weapons in your body. Tales of something. Tales of Arise. Someone told me it was a Tales game, having played no Tales games. At the beginning of the conference, whenever they were like, world premiere, the audience was like, yeah, yeah, and now as it's gone on, now when they do world premiere, there's only like 3 people that are like, good! I know people are excited that From Software is working with George R.R. Martin to make a game, and like, conceptually that's pretty cool, but that teaser was a teaser and told us basically nothing.
So let's talk about our next console.
Let's talk about the next console, Phil Spencer. I can't imagine you're going to tell us much, but sure. They talked about elevator load times. That's how you know they're on your side, gamers. Scarlett! Project Scarlett, because I'm sure it'll be called Xbox, but they don't have a name for it yet. There's certainly was a lot of buzz in there. 120 frames a second, 8K. But what will it actually do? What does it actually mean? We won't know for a while. Finally, we're going to talk about Halo. That's interesting. So the next Xbox comes out holiday 2020, and it's going to come out with a Halo game, which is probably going to be a pretty compelling reason to buy a new Xbox. I haven't played the most recent Halo games, but this is still really cool. I have extremely fond memories of Halo 1, 2, and 3. Some of the best gaming experiences of my life were spent playing those games with you know, my closest friends. And I think I have, because of that, a very close connection to the Halo series. Do they make the doorways exactly the height of Master Chief?
We lost.
Because that's what they did.
Lost everything.
Halo Infinite. Which I guess is like the word that you put on games now. Because there's quite a few other games that just went for the Infinite title. Is that it? I think that's it. I think it's over. Thank you for watching. You're welcome. So overall, I think that was actually pretty good. It's important to remember that a majority of those games, like 3/4 of those games, are going to be available in other places. So you'll be able to play them on PC. You're going to be able to play them on PlayStation. Some of them you might be able to play on Switch as well. And you know, the exclusives, or at least what I could perceive as the exclusives, looked fine. But I was probably more interested as a whole in the other offerings that that they had. That being said, there's definitely a few games in there that are quite appealing, and I think it's really cool that we finally got a little bit of information about the Xbox, and also the promise that when the Xbox drops next Christmas, it will be dropping with a new Halo game, which is probably the best way to get people on board to a completely new console. Now, for what it's worth, I skipped out on the Xbox One X, and then also the PS4 Pro, just because I wanted to skip that generation, if you want to call it that. It would have been cool to have owned an Xbox One X, especially since I've been doing Red Dead Redemption 2, but I didn't want to buy, you know, another console for a handful of games I'm going to play when I know that there are new systems on the way. So we already know that the PS5 is coming. We now know more information about Project Scarlett. And it'll be interesting to see how that information develops in the coming year. But all in all, I don't give ratings for E3. I'm not going to say who won E3. That's ridiculous. Just watch the conferences, get excited for what you want to get excited about. But overall, I don't think that was terrible. Although, again, I'm probably more excited for the third-party games that are going to be available everywhere than I am for like Gears 5 or, you know, even Halo. Halo looks, you know, interesting, but it's a teaser. We don't know anything about it, and I haven't played a Halo game in quite a while. Anyway, that's it for me. Be sure to talk about what you thought down in the comments below, and I will see you guys soon for Nintendo's conference or Direct. I'll be covering that one as well. So, see you in a few days. Is it Tuesday? It's in the next few days.